Hi everyone and welcome to DMD Help, a channel dedicated to raise awareness for dissociative motor disorder. I'm Sarah and in today's video I'm going to be telling you all about my symptoms. DMD, or dissociative motor disorder, is a nervous system disorder which basically means your nervous system's there but it's just not working properly. There's many different symptoms and today I'm just going to go through what I experience. So firstly, working from head to toe. Hope you got a drink because it could be quite a long video. So let's get started. So firstly, I have what they call chronic daily headaches. So I have a band of pain across the top of my head, sort of like a pressure, and then at the front of my head I also have a pressure feeling. No amount of painkillers seem to work for me. I've tried everything from paracetamol right up to morphine and they're just there. They don't tend to get worse or less depending on what I'm doing. It's just constantly there and you just learn to live with it, unfortunately. But I have noticed that when I do get a normal headache, as it were, so if I get a muzzy head or sort of just a tired feeling, that knocks me for six. I am just in so much pain and just don't want to know anyone or anything. So then moving down, in the very beginning, I think I've got a couple of videos on here, older videos, kind of explaining what my very first symptoms were. One of them being losing the use of my right arm. I do have the use of my arm back, but I do have pins and needles all down my arm. I can't tell, I can tell if I'm touching something, but I can't really tell if it's sharp or soft or something like that, so it's just constant pins and needles, which is really annoying. Also, for me, more recently, I have a very sort of heavy pressure on my chest and pain down my left arm. Again, with DMD, the symptoms can mimic quite a lot of neurological symptoms. Sometimes you'll think I've had a stroke because my right side of my face gets weak, I can't use my right arm and I can't use my right leg. Everything's been checked out, and the thing is with DMD, and that's why a lot of people aren't believed, is because we get MRI, CT, all that jazz, and it comes back clear. So there's nothing damaging physically, it's more to do with the nervous system itself. Then moving on to my legs. Currently I can't feel either of my thighs, but I'm still able to walk. I still can't get my head around that. There are times where I can't feel the lower part of my legs, I can't feel my feet, but I still am able to walk, sometimes unaided or sometimes with crutches. And moving on to more of one of my complicated symptoms, I do have non-epileptic seizures. So they kind of look like an epileptic seizure, but again, going back, there's nothing physically damaging like an epileptic attack. In the very beginning, I would pass out for 5 hours. Yep, you heard it. In the very beginning, I was just told to ride them out at home, which is fine, we do. Thankfully, it's not 5 hours anymore. I don't need a gym membership, that's for sure. So all of a sudden I would just pass out. I used to get very small warnings to the point where I just say, I'm not feeling well, boom, gone. Now they kind of just happen as and when, so I don't really get much of a warning beforehand, so that's not fun. But yeah, sometimes I will just pass out and just be still. Other times I will pass out and jerk quite violently. My arms and legs will jerk. Again, how long is a piece of string? Sometimes they can last a while, sometimes they're quite quick. Yeah, that's not fun. And sometimes during a seizure my arms and legs will go rigid, so I'll be jerking, then all of a sudden my body will decide to go rigid and then release. Sometimes when I do come out of a seizure, my legs do go rigid and they are stuck. They are out rigid and I get excruciating back pain all across my lower back. So once this happens, unfortunately, that's the only thing that we can't deal with at home. So I do have to call for a paramedic. I do have a letter from my consultant helping me state that Entonox is the only thing that helps. But with the Internox, then normally the paramedics or my other half will help me physically bend my legs. I will be screaming, shouting, oh, it's not fun. But at the time, you are my best friend because you are helping me out. So then once my legs have been released, I'm still on the Internox for a while. Sometimes I'm okay to stay at home and they're happy to keep me at home, which is the best thing. There's not a lot they can do in hospital for me, so hospitals aren't really the best thing for me. But unfortunately, sometimes once my legs have been released, I can't put weight on my right side, so I have to go in and I sit there with my Internox and I discharge myself a couple of hours later when I feel better. That's the only thing that I need help with in terms of professional help. Normally you just get on with it. So yeah, that's the only thing that can be a bit difficult. Also, sometimes in my seizures, I come out of a seizure and I cannot do anything. I can't move my arms, my legs, my neck. The only way I can communicate is by blinking. So, you know, my family and I have come to the conclusion, sort of like 1 blink for yes, 2 blinks for no kind of thing. And yeah, I can't speak, can't do anything. Slowly but surely my speech comes back, and then over the course of, again, how long's a piece of string? A course of either a few days, few weeks, I get the movement back in my arms, so then I am in a wheelchair while I can't move my legs. Then I upgrade to my crutches and then after that, once I'm fully recovered from that episode, you wouldn't think there's anything wrong and I can carry on. Also, another thing that happens with my seizures, sometimes I will have difficulty breathing. I'm not going blue, so I am getting oxygen, but it's very, very shallow, and just have to keep an eye on it. And again, because the muscles sort of in my throat are tensing, it's quite difficult for me to breathe. Again, I am breathing, I'm all good, but I do get shortness of breath and it does feel like I'm breathing quite heavily. I'm not panicking because I know now. In the beginning it was scary, but just try to relax and sort of ground myself, and then eventually it will stop. Also, something that's happened, touch wood, only a couple of times, is again my muscles kind of tense up in my throat and I can't eat or drink anything. I have difficulty swallowing my own saliva, so that's not fun. So I do have to go in to hospital for that. I was given medication for irritable bowel syndrome intravenously through a drip, because obviously I couldn't take anything. And again, in time, once that started to kick in, my muscles kind of relaxed and I was able to eat and drink. Thankfully, that's only happened a couple of times, which is not fun. So this may sound, what? So that was just a rundown of kind of what I experience with my condition. I will leave a link to a website that I was told about when I first got diagnosed. It's called neurosymptoms.org. Can also be known as functional neurological disorder, but my diagnosis was dissociative motor disorder. So basically everyone has the fight or flight. I have fight, flight, dissociate. So if I'm in a situation that I feel uncomfortable or something like that, and I can't get out of the situation, my body will just go, nope, you don't need to worry about that, go to your happy place, and I will pass out. So this was just a video explaining my symptoms, what I experience at the moment. Things do change, things can get better, things can get worse, and I hope that you can continue to follow me on my journey through the good times and the bad, and basically just for me as well, for a video diary to see how far I've come, and yeah, hopefully to raise more awareness. So thank you to everyone for watching. I'm going to leave it there for now. So if you did enjoy this video, then please remember to give it a big thumbs up. That would really help me out a lot. And if you are liking the videos and you want to stick around, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to find out when I do more of these videos. So I'm going to leave it there for now, guys. Thank you for watching. Take care.